Want to catch everything, you can head on over to my Pitch Queen page. That's where I'm going to go over all the slides. So here are the slides for today of what we're going on. And if you have questions, type them in the comment box, because that's where question goes. That's where question goes. That's where questions go, and then I'll answer them later on. Right? We all know the drill. We know the drill. We've been here before. So welcome to Coffee is for Closers. I'm Michelle, aka the Pitch Queen, and this is like what I love to do. I hang out with you guys, and if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, then this probably applies to you because you're always trying to grow your business and looking for new clients or customers or pitching your products. And you all know I'm like the business chick. So if you're on my behind the scenes on my personal Facebook page, you can pop on over to the business page, the Pitch Queen, because my personal page is just for those who want to see what the heck does Michelle do every day. Since a year ago, I closed my business, Fitzy Foods, and maybe you're like, well, what does she do these days? I wonder what Michelle's up to. This is for you to see what I'm up to. So that's why I do it over here. And, enjoy, have fun, say hi, put a comment, give a heart or a like, and we're going to get started. Oh, let me share my screen. Okay. So today on Coffee is for Closers, we are talking about when not to follow up with a lead. So if you have been hanging out with me for the last few weeks, you all know that we've been talking about qualifying leads. Who do you want to work with? Who do you not want to work with? What kind of boundaries do you want to set up? And today we're going to talk about when to not follow up with a lead. And it's actually really funny that this actually came up today. And the reason why is that I don't know if you guys remember, but it was like maybe 2 months ago. I was talking about these guys that were asking for like a discount after discount after discount after discount. And literally I felt like I was, looking for a discount for myself. I mean, I always love to find a good deal on some things, but then sometimes I pay full price, right? Like I got this super fancy bag and it was like $2,500, and that was okay. And then sometimes I look for a great deal on how I can save, I went into Target and they had these air filters, and the air filter for my house is like $19.99 at Target. But my best friend and I go to this place called GTM, and it's like a place where you find deals, and they sell them there for $7. But this past weekend they were half off. And so I got them for $3.50 versus $19.99. I know it's really stupid, but as a female, for all the other females out there, you can probably relate that we like to find a good deal. Anyway, those guys that I was dealing with about 2 months ago wanted to see if we had a discount still for my friend's program. And she responded like, no, we do not have a discount. This is not the discount store. This is not the discount place. And this is an education to really help and grow your business. But you want to know what the number one problem these guys have is that all of their clients ask them for a discount. And they do like tax and accounting services for really, really, really cheap. And they wonder why they're so broke. And they're so broke because they work with thousands of clients for like $100 each, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I pay, a pretty good decent amount of money to get my taxes done, but we all should. If you want good work, you pay for quality, right? So anyway, it's really interesting that this actually got brought up today. So this client is going to be my example throughout all of today, when not to follow up with a lead. So I'll go into more details about this person, and we're going to give him a name so I don't keep saying this person. So what do you guys think about Todd? We're going to go with Todd, okay? So Todd wrote me an email today asking if we had a discount. Like, you think anything from 2 months ago to now? If anything, our price has probably increased, okay? So that is our topic today, and hopefully this is really helpful for you guys. So we're going to be going over a cup of wisdom, and you're going to find out why you should not follow up if, and again, why you should not follow up if, and you should not follow up if, and energy for the soul. So I think you guys kind of got the point for today. And let me share with you a little bit of a news flash. And I know this might be a shocker to you, but if for all of you on the Pitch Queen Facebook page, which is where you all need to be, the Pitch Queen Facebook page is where you get my slides. Okay, see these? You have to go over to the Pitch Queen Facebook page to see these. But there's a news flash out there, and that is there are leads that are not going to be a good fit for your business. Did you know that? You can't be everything to everybody all the time. It's just not possible. There really is no way that all leads are going to be a good fit. So that is the news flash, right? So hopefully I have got some more really good stories about Todd and how this relates to everything we're discussing today. And it couldn't have been a better time for Todd to send me this email because it just put me into that place like, is this guy really serious? So you should not follow up if these following things happen. Your prospective client, right? Todd is a prospective client to my friend's company who I do help, cannot answer these questions. So let me go over the questions that makes it that they're not really going to be a good fit or a good prospective client. What does their vision of success look like to them? If your client or prospect can't really answer that question, then you've got a sort of a little bit of a problem. If they can't tell you what success looks like to them, be it, more time to go travel or hang out at home or work part-time or spend time with the family, then how are you going to really help them? Who is the ultimate decision maker? So with Todd actually has a business partner. And when I first talked to Todd, and we'll make up his business partner, his name's Tom. When I talked to Todd and Tom in the beginning, I didn't even know that each of them had a business partner. That was the crazy part. And so I had one call with them in the morning and then the other person I had in the afternoon. And what I learned was neither of them were really a decision maker. They both said they were decision makers, but actually together, the two of them were decision makers. So just make sure that your prospect can actually answer who is the decision maker, because if they don't know, then that's kind of weird. And what is the deadline for the project or goal or, for Todd and Tom, their objective was how can they increase the profits in their business? If I recall, the profits in their business were about like 10%. It was really, really low for a service-based business. So they didn't have cost of goods on the manufacturing side. They didn't have any of these other challenges that happen when you're dealing with a product-based business. So for Todd and Tom, it's, they didn't even really know what they wanted as far as at the time. They didn't know what they wanted, I should say. However, I did know that they wanted to increase their bottom line. Well, let me give you a little tip. If you want to increase your profitability, you can't give out a lot of discounts. And at Fitzy Foods, I experienced the same thing. People always wanted a deal on their food. Oh, well, if I buy 10, can I get like 2 or 3 free? Every single meal we gave away for free, it was eating up our bottom line. And as I don't know if some of you guys know, but the food business is really hard to make money in, like really, really hard. It was one of the hardest businesses I've ever seen in my whole entire life. But really understanding what is the goal of your clients is super duper important. And it's the only way you can really help someone. So if they can't answer any of that stuff, then there's no need for you to follow up unless something changes, right? So if your prospects or your prospective clients, whatever you want to call them, can't answer these questions, that means that any sort of deal or business won't move forward. There's no possible way that it can actually move in the forward direction, right? And also, you might ask to table your discussions until they can answer your questions, so you don't have to waste their time. And Todd and Tom, I think that's what I named them, right? Yeah, Todd and Tom. I was kind of having fun with them. I truly did want to help them. Like, seriously, I really did want to help them. But unfortunately, you can't help people that don't want to be helped, right? It's like that saying I think we talked about a week or two ago, you bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Same like this. I can't help someone want to actually change. If you tell me that you really, really, truly want to change and increase your bottom line and profitability and increase your sales and reduce the amount of low-level work you're doing, well, guess what? You're going to have to change what you've been doing because what you've been doing doesn't actually work for you anymore, right? But hey, you know what? Sometimes timing isn't the right time for everyone. And you might want to work with them in the future. So, I think Todd was the guy who emailed me today. And Todd wants to have another follow-up conversation in 3 weeks. So I get to decide, do I want to help Tom and Todd or do I want to let them go? You know, I haven't really thought too hard about it because it literally just happened about an hour ago. But it got me thinking, you know, what do I want to do? So real quick, for those of you who are watching on the Instagram and on Facebook, put down in the comments, what do you do when you don't, or what are your criteria on what you look for when you're not going to follow up? So can you put that down below? I want to see what you guys do and what you don't do. On Instagram, you guys can put it down below too. And again, this is Coffee is for Closers. So if you've got your coffee, tea, protein shakes, if you're like Garen, you know, whatever you guys drink, I'm going to wave at everybody real quick. But put in the comments below, what do you guys do for, you know, when you're not going to follow up? What's your criteria on when you're not going to follow up with somebody? I was actually just talking to Kevin about following up with 2 people that he met last week. And, you know, there's a time when you do need to follow up and there's a time when you don't want to follow up. So today we're talking about the time when you're not following up. What do you do? Who's on Facebook? I know you're seeing something. I see you guys there. I just don't know who's there. All right. No comments? Okay, we'll go to the next topic. I got it. If you think of something, put it down in the comments below. Also, if you can, please share this on your pages, or if you're on Instagram, you can give me a heart, or maybe a like, because it helps spread the love to more people that might want to hear about this, right? Always state the truth. Brad says always state the truth. I totally agree with you, Brad, in that when you don't want to follow up with someone, you should probably tell them why or tell them the truth. I completely agree with you, 1,000%. And wow, thanks for all the hearts, you guys. That's so lovely. Oh, Luz said, revaluation on how much time you already spent on them. That's really good, Luz. Let me go into that a little bit, actually. So you've got to think about when you should not follow up. What's your return on your investment in time, right? Like following up takes a lot of time. I'm not going to lie. I love following up, and I think a lot of big sales and longer sales cycles require a lot of follow-up, okay? However, you need to evaluate your time and see when should you not follow up and when you should. And if you think they're going to be a client in the future, like Tom and Todd, I mean, I have no idea. They totally need our help. And I'm 1,000% confident we can help them. I'm 1,000% confident that their whole business is going to shift once they learn everything. However, I am not 1,000% confident or sure that they're actually going to do the work, right? So if we go back to the times where we set our boundaries and we've made sure that we set our standards with who you want to work with and who you can't, I need to reevaluate to see if Tom and Todd are even remotely close to my boundaries list. It's been about 2 months, so maybe they're back on track, but we'll see. All right, let's go on to the next. Okay. The next reason why maybe you should not follow up. So again, today we are talking about qualifying leads, and then when should you not follow up because they're not a qualified lead. So you should not follow up if they actually probably can't afford you, right? So there's some people that I call getting resourceful and can find ways to afford your services or products, right? If you're really able to help change someone, like I'll give you another example. This was pretty awesome. I went to this event called Secret Knock, and it was like a place for you to get invited. And Secret Knock was really cool. I met some amazing people. And I met this one woman, and I'm blanking on her name, but we'll call her Jeannie for right now. And Jeannie came up to me and said, Michelle, I know you don't know me, but you really changed my life. And because I ate your food, I was able to lose the weight that I needed because I was trying to get pregnant. And you were one of the reasons on how I was able to get pregnant and have my son. And here's a picture of him. I was a loyal client of yours for a whole year. And you know what? She figured out a way to afford our food for a whole year. Were we the cheapest? Nope, not at all. Were we cheaper than eating at home? Nope, probably not. Well, we probably were cheaper if you calculate your time to grocery shop, cook, clean, do dishes, and all that other stuff that we do to make food at home. But my point is that she figured out a way to afford it in order to get to her end goal at the time was getting pregnant, and now she had a son. That was pretty phenomenal. And I just met her at this random event when she heard Fitzy Foods closed, and I'm like, yeah, that's almost a year-old news, guys. I know it's kind of surprising that a whole year has gone by, but yeah, it's been a whole year. So why you should not follow up with someone if you really think they just can't afford it, or maybe they're like not that serious. Some clients may not have extra money or really not be able to financially commit. Like I said, there's people that will find ways. They'll sell things on Craigslist. They'll get credit. They'll get loans. They'll do things to afford your services if they see the value, right? Because it all comes back down to value. But maybe there's a thing that you can do, which Amy came up with, which is sales karma, right? And you might be wondering, well, what is sales karma? So let's go into what sales karma is, because I am all about karma, and the more karma you can give, the better, right? Sales karma 101. You earn sales karma by recommending maybe another business or maybe another entrepreneur that is more in line with your prospect's budget. Okay, so for Todd and Tom, unfortunately for them, they really need us. There is nothing else that I will believe truly will fix their problem. So I'm going to talk to them again. I think I've made up my decision by talking to you guys today. But what about like if you, are doing film services, right? Like Kevin. Kevin wants to do high-end film services for clients. That's really, really important that he keeps his quote-unquote high-end budget in mind for his clients. But maybe Kevin has 2 or 3 other videographer friends that are like brand new, starting out, need the experience, and they're willing to do things for a little bit less of investment. Kevin can actually refer out that business to other people, and we call that sales karma. And sales karma will get you really, really far, because that means Kevin will probably get all the referrals of the high-end services, right? And you can also look for referrals from someone who isn't a good fit for you. And do you know of, you can say, do you know of any other fellow entrepreneurs or businesses that are having challenges with their sales conversations? That's something I could say, because maybe they're not a good fit for me, but they might actually know someone. Hey, you know what? I met this girl, the pitch queen, and she would be a good fit for you, because everything you keep talking about is you don't have the confidence in your sales conversations. So sales karma means that it'll actually help you back in return. So it'll come back to you, right? Lose anything on sales karma. What do you guys do for sales karma? Secret Knock. I recall it's a brand statement. Wonder Open. Yeah, so Secret Knock is, it's an event here put on by Greg Reed in California and San Diego. And it was, really fun. Cool. You write books and stuff. That's awesome, Brad. Always work with people who want to work with you. Totally agree. What do you guys do for sales karma? Put it in the comments below. I want to know what you do for sales karma. Nothing? You guys don't do anything for sales karma. Come on. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it, but I may be true. So, all right, Brad, you're going to like this next topic. This one is totally what you're talking about. So, another reason maybe why you should not follow up. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, let me start over. Starting over. Another reason why maybe you should not follow up with, even a qualified lead is for a reason called they don't see your value. Who has experienced that in your career? They keep asking you for discounts. Oh, I just talked about Todd, how he kept asking for discounts. And by the way, he's got to pay a premium price, It's so funny. I talked to him about it last time, and you guys, think about this, over the weekend. If you don't invest in yourself at a high level, how can you expect other people to invest in you at a high level? So if Todd keeps asking me for discounts left and right, how is that ever going to change in his conversations with his clients? He's going to keep allowing people to ask him for discounts. It's like a domino effect. So until Todd can really change, right, in the mindset of, hey, okay, I've had it. I'm not going to work with clients anymore for $100 each. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm going to raise my prices. And that's basically what I'm going to do. Nothing's going to change for him because he's used to people asking for discounts. If every question is related to price, it's probably a good idea not to follow up with that person. So actually, when I write Todd back later, I'm going to tell him that when we talk in a couple weeks, I don't even want to discuss the price. It has nothing to do with price. It has nothing to do with discounts. Our conversation has everything to do if Todd is ready to make a change. Was he sick of tax season this year of serving clients for $100 each? I don't even know how you make any money at $100 a client doing tax returns. Like that's probably maybe $5 an hour of work. It just literally doesn't make sense, right? And do they believe the testimonials you provide were true? Do they see the value in you? Do they see that you're able to really make a shift and a change in their life, right? So yes, do they see your value, but in order for them to see your value, they have to believe that you can actually be the person to help them, right? And do they think they need you? I don't know, but it's something you should really think about, right? Value is such an important factor, but really do the people that you want to not follow up with, are they thinking they don't need you? I know that was a tongue twister, but think about it. And some clients will never see your full value. It is what it is, you guys. It just happens that way. They're not going to see your worth. They're not going to see your value, and they're not going to see it in yourself. So, a few months back, we went over this on knowing your value and knowing your worth. So if you want to go rewind, you can listen to previous episodes on this topic. All right, time to put some comments in the box. Oh, you guys are cool. So what about a time where someone didn't see your value? Has that happened to you? Oops. Has that happened to you? Beginning, it's all about lead generation. If 10 people get to one yes, yep, totally agree. When they're like they were before being a client, yep, you guys, these comments are great. Numbers, members, numbers by what? Yeah, you guys are hilarious. All right, so, when has someone not seen your value? Has that happened to you? Put in the comments below, I want to see. And if you guys are on my personal page, this is what I do all day. I just do these kinds of interviews. I talk on my podcast. Today was super awesome. I did some cool interviews. I did not put those on the behind the scenes because I knew I was doing this and I didn't want to bombard you on Facebook. All right. So there's one more reason why maybe you should not follow up with even some qualified leads. So you knew they were you knew their quality, you knew you want to work with them. However, maybe it's just a bad fit. What if it's just a bad fit? It's just not going to work. If your service won't help your prospects solve their problem, it's probably a good reason to not follow up with them, right? So maybe in the qualifying process, you realize that, you know what, actually, I'm not best suited to help this person. That would be a good time to not follow up. And if you know your client won't respect you or stay within your boundaries. Huge one, huge one, huge one. So one of our boundaries when I'm working with Dominique with all the CPAs is that they see our value and see our worth. If you keep asking for a discount, guess what? We're never going to work together. So when I talk to Todd in a couple of weeks, I think he said he wanted to talk to me in 2 weeks, I've got to make sure that before I even talk to him that he understands we're not talking about price. He already knows the price. That's not even a topic for discussion on that day. My conversation with Todd and that he's going to have to agree to prior to even having the call, which is my way of qualifying him, right? So listen carefully. I'm going to have a follow-up with someone who I would have never followed up with before, but he just reached back out. So, hey, sometimes people want to get back in the game and change what they're doing because they're really frustrated. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-qualify him. Todd, I just want to make it 100% clear that when we talk in a few weeks, we're not discussing the price. It's not even going to come up. And before we also talk, I want to go over what has changed in your business in the last 30 days and 60 days. I want to know what happened in the last month and then in the last 2 months, because I think it's been about 2 months since I've talked to him. I also want to make sure that you're 100% committed to changing this massive problem that you have. And I'll go back to my notes and remind myself of what that problem was. But I know it was a really bad one. It was a big problem. And I know we can help him solve it. However, is him, Todd, and his partner, Tom, are they really 1,000% committed to changing it? Or do they want to keep playing the discount game? Because if his answers don't align with what I'm looking for, I'm not going to talk to him. Because guess what? I can't help him. And if I can't help him, then I don't want to waste his time and I don't want to waste my time. So that's another reason why maybe you should not follow up on a qualified lead. So remember that. And remember that respectfully stepping away from a potential sale will actually boost your value and keep your credibility high. We also talked about that a few months or weeks ago. I can't really remember. But you guys can go check out one of the Saturday episodes and listen and remind yourself that really stepping away and saying no is A-OK. So I am going to leave it with that, you guys. Wow, we're on time. Woo! 30 minutes. What questions do you have? You have questions? Put them down below and I'll answer them. Any questions? Also, get a retainer. Yeah, it's a good one, Brad. Get a retainer. Depending on what business you're in, get a retainer. I'm all about getting paid up front, though. No retainers. Just get paid 100% up front if you can. Bad fits are like wearing jeans that are too loose or too tight for you. That is hilarious. That is really, really good, Brad. Yeah. Tell Todd my value is that you will get the most efficient and thorough commitment from me. I like that too. That's good. Brad, you're on a roll, man. Yep. If you got an email asking to change from a 6-month contract to a 3-month contract, the answer is so sorry. The contract is here for a reason. I feel like passing her off to someone else. I would totally pass them off to someone else, Liz. Totally agree. Yeah. Good. What do you guys want to talk about for April? My team and I are working on our subjects for next month. Well, for the next 3 months. And Jackie is so far ahead of the game. This is amazing. What do you guys think? Option 1, option 2, or option 3? This is now feedback for me. So if you're watching, can you please give me feedback? Why are you talking yourself out of sales? Have you ever thought of why maybe you lose sales because you actually talk yourself out of it? I think we need to roll with that, you guys. But okay, let me give you the other two. The cost of a bad client. Have you ever thought about what it costs you to have a bad customer, a bad client? I've got a lot of hair on my shirt. Sorry, I was distracted. I'm back. What is the cost of a bad client? Have you ever thought of that? I have some really good stories on what a bad client cost me. It actually cost me closing my last business. Yep. Networking mindset. If you're out and about and you're a small business owner, then networking is important, right? You have to go out and about. You have to talk to people. I took Kevin to an event last week. We had a lot of fun. Got B12 shots and kombucha. It was super fun. Okay, of those 3 topics, which sounds the best? Which sounds the best out of those 3 topics? I'm going to stop the audio recording. Anything, you guys? Erasing client tape loops in their heads about why they think. What? Why? Option 1, definitely. All right, we're rolling with option 1, you guys. Next month, all month, April, the whole month, okay? We're going to have some special guests. Maybe Shavika's going to come back on. Maybe Donald Kelly will be back on. But we are going to go with option 1, which is why you might be talking yourself out of your own sales. 4 whole weeks on this topic. So get ready. It was an honor to be here with you all today. Thanks for joining me and thanks for watching. Okay, option 1. You got it. Option 1 it is. Option 1 it is. Option 1 is what we're talking about next month. So I'm excited because I was having a discussion with my friend Kat, and we are going to be working together, and I was like listening. Those sales are the tape loops. Tape loops. Oh, the sales that people are talking themselves out of? Is that what you're talking about, Brad? Anyway, we were at dinner, and Kat literally talked herself out of so many sales. It's crazy. And like the big ones, the most important ones that would have really helped her clients. So I think we're going to dive deep into that topic. And then maybe in May, we'll go with the cost of a bad client and go into all the nitty-gritty detail of opportunity costs for you, costs on legal side for you, costs on missed opportunities for you guys. So we'll go all deep in that. And networking mindset, yeah. I mean, we've done work in the room 101 and all that, but we can go into networking mindset because we've done sales mindset, but maybe networking mindset is going to be a little different. So I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for being here with me. And again, put your comments and questions below and I'll get to them next week too. Have a great week, you guys. Bye. Oh, let me end this one.